There may be a point in your life where you decide, hey, I really want to sell my business. And you've decided in advance, so you have time to create the history of what you're going to sell. So what does a 5, 4, 3, 2 year execution plan look like if you're going to exit your business? And why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to you live from Consulting Secrets on a perfect day to talk about business growth, exit opportunities, exit 360 ratio, the 5, 4, 3, 2, and a fantastic day to talk about you. I'm coming to you live from Sacramento. All right. So you want to give yourself the maximum opportunity for you to get the maximum multiple for your business. It's what you deserve. You've stayed up late nights. You've been at the office. You've worried about employees. Like, you didn't go through all of that to get the minimum. You want the maximum. And unfortunately, I'll have people reach out to me. They're like, hey, Scott, I want to sell my company in 6 months. Like, we can do that. But you're in a fire sale. You're not prepared. So let's go backwards. Okay. Let's say today you turn 55. You turn 55 today, and you're like, I want to retire by the time I'm 60. Perfect. In that amount of time period, in 5 years, you've got 20 quarters to make magic happen. Now, if you've got multiple management team members, you're going to multiply that number by how many managers you have on your team, because their role and responsibility is going to be work on one initiative per quarter to make your company better. So we're going to go down the path. We're going to make it really easy. You got 2 managers and you've got 20 quarters. That means that you have the possibility of 40 initiatives, right? A minimum of 40. Could you do more? Sure, right? Let's say some of them aren't 3-month initiatives. Some of them are 1-month initiatives. You're going to map out the things that are going to make your company the most valuable, and you're going to do it strategically. Like, we're going to look at the industry, the product, the service that you have to offer. You know, if it's a dental practice, a medical practice, what are the things that you have to put in place? One of those things I'm going to tell you is monthly recurring revenue, MRR. Like, that should be top of the quality of earnings, monthly recurring revenue. These are things that are top of the list. Stop the churn. Like, what you're going to find is that has high value to it. And people want monthly recurring revenue because when they go in on the first day of the month or the 5th of the month, there's money that goes into the bank account. Like, magic happens. Okay. So 5, 4, 3, 2 is going to benefit you for the math. And if you're like, Scott, I want to be out in 4. Sure, you can do it. And just remember, you've got 16 quarters. And if you've got 2 managers, you got 32 initiatives. You're like, Scott, I want to get out in 3. Okay. You've got 12 quarters, 2 managers, you've got 24 initiatives. You're like, hey, Scott, I want to be out in 2 years. It makes it really tight. Like, you can absolutely plan. Now, here's what my belief is. You put in and front load all the work as if you're going to plan that you're going to sell in 2 years, but you pick and time the market based upon when you want to exit. So the market fluctuates for mergers and acquisitions. So the multiple moves up and down based upon demand in the market and interest rates. Because when money's cheaper, like interest rates are cheaper, private equity investors, private equity can pay more. So some of this has to do with politics, like, not to get political, but you're like, hey, if you see that somebody's coming into office and they're like, gosh darn it, we're going to change the tax code and the tax code is going to be this, and people like at that, you should be like, oh my goodness. Okay. I've got a time horizon. We're going to put a dot on the horizon and we're going to look out. We know that if I start at 5 years and we're going to manage the initiatives that we put in place at the very beginning. We're going to front load for the most amount of momentum that we can get. And then we're going to back off. What you're going to find is it gives you more of an opportunity. And I want to make sure that this is super clear, because as you go to exit, it's going to take you 6 months. You're going to hit LOI, letter of intent. Some people call it a letter of intent contract. And then for 90 days, you're getting information. You're getting things back and forth. Sometimes that LOI to the 90 days of what you're doing can take 6 months. And so let's say if you're like, hey, Scott, I'm going to use the 2-year plan. Let's cut 6 months off of that. Now you've got 18 months. And you start just doing the math. In 18 months, how many quarters? I got 6 quarters. If I got 2 managers, I've only got 12 initiatives that I can work on. The reason why you really want to work and say, hey, here's what the end game for me is to exit. And I'm going to do everything I can to prepare to exit. You can reach out to private equity. You could reach out to private investors and say, hey, what is it that you want inside of an organization? And you can talk to your top 3, 4, or 5. And then you start looking and say, where do we stack up? Where are the holes? And if we're going to go for profitability and the things that are going to move the needles the most, where is this going to be? What are some things that we can do? How can we prove quality of earnings? How can we get monthly recurring revenue? How can we slow churn? How can we document processes? Like there's going to be things that have a higher rating for you, like SOPs, standard operating procedures, org charts, decision matrices. These are some of the first things that you've got to do because it stabilizes the business. And if something happens to a manager, you can get a manager in there. But you absolutely, the further back that you can push this, the more history you're going to have. The more history and the more proof you're going to have, the easier it is for you to charge money, especially if you show win after win after win. There's going to be losses, right? Nobody's got the hockey stick. The hockey stick is the XY axis and it just goes straight up. Like we all have wins and losses in personal life and in business. Right now, I'm on a weight reduction plan, AKA a diet. I lost a bunch of weight and then I climbed back up and then I plateaued. Like this is how business is. And somebody who's going to invest is going to know that. But like when you have that documentation and that capability of saying, hey, we're on a 5-4-3-2 process, it alleviates a lot of pressure in your life and you get to exit on your terms. It may be that you go through 2 years of the 5-4-3-2 process and somebody comes to you and they're like, hey, you seem like you've got a really good company. And you're like, yeah, we do. And they say, we would love to buy you. And the average multiple in the industry is 6 and we're going to give you 12. And you're going to look around and you're going to go, why? And they're going to because you got everything together and you've got a Titan thesis and you've got a good, strong seller's thesis. We want to buy you. You're a well-run company. You're well-respected. You're good stature in the community. We want that. We're looking for that to be a platform company in the area, in the product or service. And you're able to go, okay, 12-time multiple. That sounds fantastic. And then, you hit your negotiations and you might ask for 13. You might ask for 14. Just remember, it's negotiation. It's what it is. But the 5-4-3-2 process for you allows for you to exit when you want, how you want. And let's just say for the sake of fun that you put your first 2 years in and the market isn't good and you're looking into the future, and you're like, okay, I think that next year is going to be the year that we sell. You've got another 4 quarters. And if you got 2 managers, you got another 8 initiatives that you could work on. And then one of the things to recognize is this becomes your intellectual property, right? So if you're like, why do I deserve a A+ rating or a maximum multiple? Because now we got the IP. Now we've got the history. We've got the proof. Nobody else did that. There you go. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button. Click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.